I remember the early days of Verve like it was yesterday. We were sitting in our 600 square foot office over there on Tustin Street. And I remember looking at my schedule on Jane, which is what I used at the time. And I had like 12 patients all week. And it wasn't nothing because we started from zero. We didn't really have a network here. I think I created a Wix website
Yep.
and got that thing up, and we told anyone and everyone we knew. We told your aunts and uncles and cousins. We told the few friends that we had, not super close to the office, but, like, close enough that it might be worth telling them. Like, we got the word out, and we had gotten up to 12 visits a week, but I looked at that, and I'm like, "Damn, everybody that comes in loves it," right? Like, I knew I was a good practitioner. I had built the practice in Seattle. People raved, they left good reviews. Like, I knew that I had so much to offer, but I could not figure out how to grow my calendar past 12 visits a week. I knew that I should probably be doing social. I knew that a website mattered because people had to be able to find you. Like, I knew the fundamentals, but I'm like, I don't really know where to start. Like, I'm doing all the things, but like nothing really well. I am trying to like reach out to this person and maybe I'll have this event. And I did a grand opening and I'm pretty sure all of the attendees were like literally the same aunts, uncles, and like handful of friends that we had here at the time. I did not do it strategically. Like it was just it's so sweet to look back on that chapter, but I really do feel like I had the best intentions, but I just didn't know where to start. And you and I kind of came to the drawing board. You were still working a 9 to 5 at that time, like a couple companies ago. And we're like, "Okay, what do we need to do here to really systematically grow our patient base?" And you're like, I think SEO matters. I'm going to go figure that out." And you had been playing around with our ads. And I was like, I know social matters. So I went and signed up for a company that did templates. And I would, get their templates in Canva and I would put in some pictures. We traded with a photographer who did newborn photography and were surprised when the pictures didn't turn out exactly how we hoped that they would.
So many shadows.
I'm pretty sure that our models also were my brother, sister-in-law, and nephew.
Yep.
Like that was the extent of the people we
Yeah,
had.
our nephew was on our homepage of our website for a long time
Yeah. Oh,
when he
and
was a baby.
And Sapolo, Dr. Danielle Sapolo, if you know her,
Yep,
she's
a friend.
fabulous.
Yep.
Ride or die. She was one of my early models as well. But, just in looking back to that, we didn't know what we didn't know. And so it felt really overwhelming to try to grow our practice base in a consistent way. It was like just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that it stuck. And I remember being in this place and I remember looking back a few years later on that period and being like, whoa, I've come so far. We have come so far because we're consistently getting 45 to 60 new patients per month. We don't have to do a ton of extra work to do that. It was just kind of happening naturally because we had, again, systematically built brick by brick by brick this ecosystem that led to consistent new patients finding us, loving us, and talking about us. And that is exactly what we're going to talk about in today's episode. It is building the ecosystem strategically, systematically, so that you never have to wonder if you will get new patients again.
I'm excited to chat about this one. I think this is really prevalent because no one teaches you this stuff. And if you go on YouTube and you're like chiropractic or clinic marketing or, strategies, it's just so all over the map. And YouTube is extremely helpful, but it's also kind of stressful and
Overwhelming.
overwhelming in a
Mhm.
lot of ways because it's like, I'm watching this on the go, trying to get some ideas, and maybe it's not particularly in my niche or in my industry and also every clinic is kind of in a different spot depending on strengths, weaknesses, what you've tried, what's working, what's not. Maybe you have someone that's managing your social for you. Okay, cool. Maybe you have a perfect patient's website. You're unable to make any changes to that site when it comes to SEO. Okay, there's a limitation there. Hope they're doing a good job, but we don't actually know. And so, whether you're just starting out or you've been in practice, have multiple locations, the common phrase is, "I just don't know where to start." And when people come into our ecosystem, and it's like, help me paint a picture of a roadmap. Like, what does success even look like? I know success theoretically is consistency when it comes to new patients. I want high quality patients that can, don't skip their appointments. They actually show up and then they actually convert to care. But I don't know how to work backwards to actually get that.
No, because most clinics are coming to us and they're like, "I need to figure out marketing because I have great referrals." It's like a badge of honor. It's like, "Oh, I'm a referral-based practice." Cool, but, if everyone's on vacation because it's the 4th of July weekend, that doesn't really help you, right? If everybody's out of town for spring break, that doesn't really help you. If all of your community gets sick because they all go to the same school or church or whatever, that doesn't really help you.
Right.
It's inconsistent. And I think that's the problem is we have practices who kind of fall upwards into success because they're really great at what they do. And so they do build this referral generating machine, right? But again, that's not consistent. And so they come and they're like, I know I should be doing a million things, but where do I even start?
It is overwhelming because our philosophy is, well, you need to be doing all of it,
Mhm.
right? Because the way people buy, especially as AI is becoming more prevalent, and we talked about this on the way here, that trust is a big factor now. People are needing more touch points, I think, than ever to be able to take action and say, okay, not only is chiropractic right for me or my situation, but this particular clinic, but this particular doctor,
At this
like
particular
at
time.
this particular time. So like we have to build kind of the personality and the differentiation there. So even at this point, it's like, okay, well, tactically, where do I start? What do I do? First things first, because the ultimate goal obviously is booked appointments and more revenue. I get that. The way we get there is you have optimized funnels. What is a funnel? To us, a funnel is a systematic way of taking someone from awareness, I'm learning about you, to booked appointment on your calendar. And ideally, there is a streamlined process that's automated in some fashion so that there's less friction. It's very easy for me to see your Instagram carousel to then get on your website or your booking page and then go ahead and, take that next step. We want to make sure that that is as seamless as possible.
And pause, because I think that, I don't know, a practitioner or somebody who's in a service-based business hears the word funnel, right? Which is all over the internet now. It's like, what the fuck does that even mean, right? And like, what is that digital only? Is that a funnel literally just means taking people from either not aware or like learning about you down to booked in your practice. That could be a funnel could be being at a farmer's market, right? And having a booth and educating people. And then you call them from the office on Monday and then you send them a follow up email and then they finally book. Like a funnel could be literally anything.
Yeah.
And so, again, I think it's figuring out which funnels are the right funnels.
Yeah. It's a series of steps, right? And you bring up a good point. Very commonly, we'll see, on someone's website, book appointment. And I go there and then it takes me to your Jane page and there's 8 different appointment types and your calendar is not working. There's no appointment times available and it's like, "Guys, this why is this so hard to just book?" We make it, "Oh, you gotta prepay with a deposit and you gotta create a profile in Jane and you got" it's like, just get someone's contact information and follow up with them, right? Like, let's just streamline it. So anyways, we need to really think about our funnels and we need to think about where we are placing them. The 3 main core pillars where we need to have this optimized are paid ads, whether that's Google or Meta, and I don't really know Google ads. So I'm a big Meta fan. Another one is organic social media. That could be across TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you post, and then SEO, right? So the reason behind that is SEO, search engine optimization. Now there's AI engine optimization. Think people are asking ChatGPT. In fact, we had one of our clients, post in our community yesterday that she got a new patient because someone searched best pediatric chiropractor, in Kansas City. And her clinic showed up, ChatGPT recommended it. And she was like, how do I do more of this? Right. And so we'll talk about that. But that's again kind of a newer funnel that we need to make sure we build and optimize. But with SEO, people have intent. They know that a chiropractor can help them. They are now evaluating options. They're further down kind of the awareness stages of like ready to take action. They are seeking us out. So we have to make sure that our site is visible for them to find us, right? We get the click, we show up in the search results, wherever that may be. We get the click, and then our website builds trust and is actually has the right messaging and good pictures and really easy booking process to then get the next step, right? The other two, usually for us, center around Instagram. And there's two sides to that. There's two funnels. There's the organic side, posting, commenting, DMing, like all of that. How are we working, getting free leads to take that next step? How are we optimizing our profile, our messaging, the formats? How often are we posting? I know it's tough with time if we don't have systems in place. I talked to a client the other day and was like, I'm only posting once a week because I'm driving here or there and I'm doing mobile visits. And, she wasn't a chiropractor, but it was just taking up a lot of her time. And she's like, I know I need to be posting more, but I don't have a real system yet for that. And it's like, okay, well, we got to prioritize that.
That was me back in the early days,
Yeah.
right? Using a service, somebody else's template, somebody else's words, captions, things, because at least it got me posting.
Those services are great. I mean, usually they're 1 to 200 bucks a month, right? And they usually will kind of give you 80% of the content. And yeah, we did that early on. It was kind of like an insurance policy. It was like,
Exactly.
well, okay, I know I need to like show my face and show some adjustment videos and things like that, but at the very minimum, I can use pictures of my nephew where I'm adjusting him over and over and over, and we're at least getting something out. So we're at least putting ourselves out
Creating
there.
awareness, right?
Yeah,
Hitting the top of that funnel to get people aware that we exist.
right. And then the third funnel that we need to optimize is paid ads. Now, this is obviously exciting, but also the most risky because Zuckerberg gets paid either way. Okay. If we're investing our hard earned money into ad dollars, we have to make sure that the other pieces, that funnel is really optimized and streamlined, but also the messaging, the video, the image, whatever that creative is. But it is the fastest way to get people in your door. Organic, the algorithm shows it to people now that are likely to be interested in this. The algorithms are shifting thanks to TikTok, right? It's really kind of shifting everything where before you would follow people and then, see more of their content. Well, now the algorithms are more attention grabbing. If you have interest, it is likely to show you that. Think of the For You page on TikTok, right? The more things that you engage with, watch with, go back to their profiles, it's then going to show you more people like those profiles, right? Instagram is the same way. And of course, YouTube Shorts as well. So the algorithms are good at finding people for us. But if you post a reel, it's pretty much dead after 48 hours. You can see it in your analytics. It climbs and then it just flatlines. And it's like, okay,
And one caveat to that is don't think that it doesn't matter and that Instagram doesn't like, social media doesn't matter because you are creating a landing page. We talk about this too. You wanna create, just like your website, a landing page where people can come back to and scroll and find content that's relevant to them, right? Like, if one of your reels grabs their attention, then they come back to your page. Those old reels may not be actively serving to people, but they're gonna serve as a resource for somebody who's starting to go down your funnel.
yeah. So that's one. Yeah. There's different strategies, different tactics to optimize that organic funnel. And that is certainly one of them. Right. So, and then obviously paid ads does that on steroids, where we are literally putting money into this engine to be like, go find me people interested in this who will not only watch this video, but take this action, right? Fill out a form, come to my website, do these things. Um, the challenge is they all have to work together, or they have to work together because of how people buy. They may see your ad, not know who you are, come back to your Instagram profile. To your point, the messaging has to be congruent. Ideally, they're binging and watching other things on your social media.
Yeah.
That ad for them to opt in for that offer is now gone. So, do we have another place on your profile or in those posts to get that offer? Right. So, that's friction,
Mhm.
that we need to make sure that we account for. They may click on your link in your bio and then go to your website, right? And then they hit your website, they read about pediatric chiropractic. Okay, that's interesting, right? Didn't know about this. Then they get busy and they forget. How are we then systematically following up with them, staying in touch with them? The running joke I always make is they see your ad, they go to your profile, they end up on your website, they don't book that day, and then they hear at their son's little league practice that oh you should go to Verve, we went there, whatever, and then they call and book, and you ask them how'd you hear about us, and they say oh my friend comes here, she told me all about you, and it's like bullshit. I mean, yes, but also there were 3 to 5 other touch points
Right.
online
Right.
to even get you to that point.
Totally.
And so if we don't have these things working with us, working for us in the background, and it's the messy middle, it's called attribution. It is difficult to track what they saw first, what they saw next, what resonated with them, what they scrolled past and it didn't resonate, how many times they actually saw our ads.
God, and it's like
Meta knows all that data, but we don't,
and it's
you
like, who
know?
cares, right? Like, yes, it would be awesome to track and really know where every single person is coming from, but our point here is that it's an ecosystem.
Yeah.
And it all has to be there working together. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it needs to have kind of the foundational elements because that is how people choose to buy, choose to go places, choose to trust, right? In this trust recession, it's like they have to be touched and poked multiple times.
Touched and poked. Oh, no.
I know, that's not what I meant to say. You know what I mean.
I
But
do,
they have
but that was fun.
they have to really be starting to consume this information, go over here, learn about it more, and it has to feel like their idea, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's another thing is we don't wanna be sold to. The
Yep,
consumer
but
does
people love to buy.
exactly. So, how can we say, "Here's this offer, here's this thing, here's this" like, you become aware, and also let me, like, leave some breadcrumbs and, like, get you over here to learn more about this and how we can help you here, and then when you finally do hear about it from your friend who's had huge success with their kids, recovering from the baseball injury. I don't know what kind of injuries people get in baseball.
I don't know.
Shoulder issues? Shoulder. There you go.
It's usually an ankle
Something.
or an ego.
I don't know. Or, their baby is now sleeping through the night or, pooping regularly, whatever. They're hearing it and they're like, "Yep, I'm going to do it because I'm already educated. I'm already bought in. And now my friend is giving me this like social proof." It's a no brainer.
Mhm,
But that social proof wouldn't matter if you hadn't built up all of that kind of credibility and authority
mhm.
with that ecosystem of content, your website, your social, and potentially ads if you're running them.
Right. So let's chat about now that we've truly overwhelmed you of like, "Oh, wow, I need all of this built out to be able to generate patients." Yes and no. Let's take it one step at a time.
Right.
Okay. So, first things first is we have to know who we want to target and we have to know what keeps them up at night and how are we being effective with our messaging. That is the foundation for everything else that we do. We have to go deep. This is why I created the Claude skill that really goes deep on market research, the Fab Five. Like, how are we defining what an ideal patient looks like and then taking that from there to really map out their limiting beliefs and be able to help them drive action, reframe the misconceptions, things holding them back, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So we have to start there. I would then argue the first step, fastest way to get butts in seats is with paid ads. Okay. Do I need to spend a ton of money to get paid ads or, ads up and running? How long does it take? These are all questions, good questions to ask. I would say you can start with a budget that makes the most sense for you. Ideally, you're close to at least $50 a day in ad spend. That's $1,500 a month. If you need to start at 25, start at 25, right? At least we are starting to get some level of algorithmic push to find the right people to start building an audience in an ecosystem. Okay. So, how long does it take to get ads spun up? Well, if you have good organic Instagram posts, you can turn those into ads, not boosting a post, right? That's different. But you can use those as videos. If so, go on your Reels tab, look at all your view counts, and look for the average, kind of baseline of where you're at. Let's say your average view count is 500 views. And then you might have two or three or more that are 1,000 views,
It popped off.
2,000 views, 3,000 views. Those become your ads. Gary Vee, Alex Ramosi, all these online marketer people talk about this. Use the organic signals. That video, that message is already performing well. Now put money behind it. If you need to download it and then add, a different call to action or something, go to Snap Insta. It's a free website. You can then upload your Instagram URL, download that video to your computer if you don't have it saved already. And that way it's the exact video. And then you can put it into Canva and overlay some text of like new patient special or whatever it is. If it's more organic, you need to turn it into ad. So yes, go.
One thought I have too is if your budget isn't 750 to 1,500 a month, something that we have done early on and even still is run follower ads. So it's the same concept. We take these posts that are doing really, really well, that are bringing people back to our profile. You can see in your insights what actions people are taking. Maybe they're sharing it, maybe they're saving it, maybe they're coming back to your profile and clicking links. Those posts, we put $10 a day behind. And
I just did this.
I
I'm glad you brought this up because I totally slipped my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, and I woke up last week, you had
Yeah.
done a training where you did this on Verve. You started a new follower ad, and I woke up the next day and I'm like, "What'd you do on our Instagram? Because we just got like 60 followers last night."
It was yeah,
It's
it was
insane.
like 52,
Yeah.
in a 24-hour period. So these are called follower ads, and you could launch these, basically directing people to just come back to your Instagram profile. Now, the strategy here is these are not necessarily people that are gonna book right away. This is more of a top of funnel awareness building. So we wanna be very explicit and targeted with the posts that we are putting money behind here because we wanna really call out who we want coming back to our profile. The more people that come back to our profile, the more likely it is that they will end up following us. I'm literally getting clicks to our profile visit for 14 cents. I checked it yesterday. That same campaign is getting, we've had 86 followers in the last, I don't know, 2, 3 days. Just insane. And the video still that crushes is nothing to do with chiropractic. It is
Mm-mm.
Danielle and our son blowing
We're
dandelions
really cute.
in a grassy field, and it says POV, you're an OC mom, Orange County, right? So we're calling out specifically our avatar. You're an Orange County mom who wants to find natural and healthy ways or natural and holistic ways to keep your family healthy, and you find our account. And so that is like so prescriptive on who we want in our office. And then the caption has more details and context on who we are. Follow us for more. Comment this keyword if you want our new patient special. But that's not ultimately our goal, right? We just want them to start following, visiting us, things like that. But we're asking for the follow. So yeah, a super cheap way, $5 a day even, and you can start getting followers for $1 to $2 a pop. You just want to make sure that they're really targeted. So we spin up ads. We then can send them to a lead form, right? And so we're generating their name, phone, and email, and we're using that messaging to really speak to them. I love simple ads. Walk around your office, walk around your house. Danielle does this really well. It's very, you call it yapping. Very,
I didn't make that up, but
okay.
yeah,
Well, I learned about this phrase, the yap style videos where you're literally just, hey,
talking into a mic.
it looks like a friend and you're FaceTiming.
Mhm.
Here's you're struggling with this. I see you, mom. Like, here's how I went through that too. Here's how I've helped others like you. If you want to learn more about, what chiropractic is all about, I have a new patient special. Tap below, give me your phone number, and we'll set up a time for you to come in. It can be that simple and that fast. We don't need something super polished. I do have in our community all kinds of trainings and custom AI skills to edit and create different images and all of those things. So we can save time. But if you're looking to get ads up live today, like it literally can be this simple.
You're probably overthinking it.
You're probably overthinking it. Exactly. You can also set so anyone that comes in, it will automatically start a conversation in Instagram. So if you have no follow or you don't have a lot of visits and you have more time than money right now, you can run cheap ads for your existing Instagram posts. You can record some easy, FaceTimey type of organic ICU ads, and then get their name, phone, and email, and it will automatically start a DM in Instagram. So boom, you're notified, and you can open a conversation and just follow up with them manually.
Work them down that funnel.
Don't overthink it.
Yep.
There, of course, are different technologies and tools that will be able to automate the nurture process. Things like Go High Level, and those are more complicated to set up. Once they are, they're very powerful, of course, for lead management at scale. But if you're looking to spin things up fast, don't overthink it. Like, just start there. Okay. So that's kind of the paid ads funnel. And I would look at, okay, is this particular angle working? Let's say I start with a prenatal campaign. Okay. Is it working? Is it not? Once I get a little bit of money, right? I get a couple patients from it and they convert to care. Well, now I have that money to then spend more on ads, right? So if it's working, let's double down. If it's not working, let's pivot or let's kill it and move to a pediatric campaign or adult, right? And so this is where the strategy comes in.
Totally.
And this is where we love helping clinics inside of the community. It's like I can learn how to set these up on a YouTube video, but when things stall or don't go according to plan, right? Mike Tyson had this quote, everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face.
Yep.
And sometimes we try things with an idea with our data and it falls flat and we have to pivot and we don't know how. So that's where the support comes in.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many clinics have come to us and said, "Ads just don't work." Okay, well, what have you tried? This
We grew
one
our whole clinic on Facebook ads. But yeah, tell me again how they don't work.
I mean, technically, we got to 70K before we ran ads, but we had the ecosystem going up to that point, and we went from 70 to 100 the month that we turned on ads.
Yeah.
So they absolutely do work, and sometimes the first iteration doesn't. So if you've done ads one time with one company or one time on your own or a couple times on your own, but you're not an ads person, it's probably your strategy. Like, keep trying, I think
Yeah.
about a clinic that we're working with right now who came to us. They've been in practice, what, like 15 plus years?
Yeah.
They're incredible, a husband-wife team. I shadowed them, their office, when I was in chiropractic school. Like, they have so much knowledge, they're so good at what they do, and they were their community's best kept secret. They couldn't get past, 40K. That was their ceiling, and they came to us frustrated, like, "We know we're amazing, we know we can help our community, but we just can't surpass this ceiling. We're mostly referrals." I think they had tried ads a couple times, and they're like, "Yeah, it just doesn't seem to really work." And we launched their first campaign, and it didn't really work.
It didn't work.
It
No.
right?
Yeah.
It was like, "Well, it's not
We
working, we're
launched a
not getting
baby
leads."
campaign and it yeah, fell flat.
Guess what? You guys reiterated, you went back to the drawing board, and they just had a record month and hit 60K in June.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're so right. I think all of the technical pieces matter, and for people who are not technical, who are amazing at what they do in their practices and their service-based businesses, that part has to happen first. It's the foundation. But then on top of that, if you're giving up before you've actually tried new strategy, you're quitting too soon. You gotta keep trying.
You gotta keep trying, and also, I understand the pressure because 'cause you're investing dollars into ads, so we gotta try and pivot quickly and
Yes.
know when to give it more time, or is this good or bad? That's ultimately, I think, our superpower, right? If you're thinking of, joining any kind of community, whether it's ours or someone else's, that is the power of why people grow so quickly when you join a coaching or a mastermind type of community. It's the support, it's the strategy, it's I'm here, where do I go next? What do I try? What's the fastest path? And you're able to really collapse time. So, anyways, I'll get off my soapbox. That's paid ads. The next piece that we funnel or build out is the organic funnel. Why? Because we're on the same platform. And again, per my example earlier, they see the ad and then they're likely to come back to your profile. So we got to make sure that that landing page is built out. What we mean by that is authoritative posts, all with cover photos. Please, please, please use cover
That
photos
have a hook on
that
them.
have a text hook. Give people a reason to click and watch it when they ultimately come back. This is how you keep organic posts alive
Mhm.
is you'll see in your analytics that it will say, from profile. That means people are binge watching this stuff. Pin your first 2 to 3 posts. Every FAQ, what it's like to work with you, how you're different, who you are, those should be your first, 2 to 3 posts. And then we also really like a tool called Stand Store. Now, this is really popular for more digital creators. Linktree has always kind of been the I don't want to say bread and butter, but everyone has a Linktree link. You click the one link and then you have 18 different links of where people can go. The problem with that, it's good in theory. Go to my website, read my blog, go to my Amazon store, get my free lead
More
magnet.
is better.
Yeah. We're overwhelming people. What do we ultimately want? Booked appointments. Just make it super easy. When we give them multiple options, we're actually creating a lot of friction. Go on Verve Wellness Club, our stand store, you'll see I have like 3 buttons, and the first one is our new patient special. Now, stand store is unique because they never have to leave Instagram to give me their name, phone, and email. They hit that button, and then it pops up another landing page, and then right there is a form. Again, frictionless. We get leads 2 to 3 a day from organic sources. Maybe they saw my ad first, maybe they didn't,
Who
right?
cares?
So we have, yeah, who cares? So we have that place in the bio for them to come in. Also, make sure your bio is optimized. But then also, what we've been using more recently, that we probably is a miss, we should have been doing this more over the last couple of years, is a tool called ManyChat. And if you've seen any post that's like comment keyword and I'll send you the thing in the DMs, that is an automation tool. It's literally like $20 a month, but every post should have a call to action with ManyChat. And let's say we do a post, we just did one on, shockwave for C-section scars. I would have in the very first line of that caption, what's the one thing I want them to do after watching that video? Comment shockwave, and I'll send you our new patient special. And the reason for that is I don't have to click, right? There's a preview line. I don't have to click to read the whole thing to
Right.
get to maybe what you want me to do at the bottom of the caption.
Right.
First line, I don't have to do anything and I see what you want me to do next. The second line and all the way through could be multi-paragraph caption, your normal type of here's what this is, here's how it helps, here's whatever. And then we can have that call to action again, comment shockwave, and I'll send it to you again. So we can have it in two places and you'll organically open up, conversations in the DMs of people commenting and ultimately working them through your funnel. Right. So we have paid ads and we have organic 2 ways.
Yeah, and one quick thing about ManyChat too is it's not just commenting keywords. ManyChat can send an automated new follower DM, and this is something that probably we should have done a while ago. But we just started doing it a couple months ago, and we have so many followers coming to us, whether it's from the ads that we're running, the follower ads, or just from our organic content, that before we're just coming and then we were kind of letting them be, except posting new content, but not directly targeting them and nurturing them. And this automation, without us having to do anything, is going in and saying like, "Hey, we're so glad you're here. Here's a little bit about us. Like, what brings you to our page? Is there something specific, or you're just curious to learn more?" And a lot of people don't engage, but a handful do. And that handful then opens a conversation with us, and we're able to, whether it's through an automation or a human that's in our DMs, nurture them, like ask a little bit more about them, understand what their problem is so that we can point them to the solution, which is an appointment in our office. And I can't tell you how many people we booked. I need to look at the analytics, but it is more than we were booking before with
Yeah.
that new follower, automation, which is
Yeah,
so
I think
cool.
we inadvertently had more friction in our process than we realized,
Mhm.
right? And this tool really helps alleviate a lot of that friction. So, again, the content creation part is time consuming. I get it. That's why we use AI to automate and technology to automate a lot of this. Now, you may feel overwhelmed by AI. Okay, I know it's possible, but I feel behind. I'm in clinic all day. I don't even know where to start with AI, let alone, or with marketing, let alone with AI. And everything is moving so fast. The beauty of AI and where it's going is you can create what's called custom skills. Basically, you can pre-train a process or a workflow, and then I can give you my skills. So in our community, clinics are able to download and upload my pre-built skills that I used when I was doing marketing for other clinics, and I use for Verve every day to get automated new patients into our clinic. And it is basically like pre-trained my brain into your system, into your Claude. So you don't have to learn what to tell Claude or where to go next or whatever. A great example, and then we can move on to SEO, is using AI as kind of a feedback loop. So you could go on YouTube video and learn the meta ads manager and how to analyze your ads, cost per lead and click through rate and impressions and what's good and what's not. What I've created is not just uh, an AI Claude skill that reports the news, right? Reports back, read my performance for the last 7 days and tell me how my ads are doing. Cool. I could do that myself. Like, there's really no big aha takeaway there. But what it does is says, here's your performance. Here is my recommendation on what we need to, the ads that are not working. So we need to turn those off. This ad is working. So we need to put more budget and we need to create variations of the winners. Do you want me to do those things? Because say yes, and I'll go pause the losers. I'll put more budget towards the winners, and then I'll link it with another skill. Maybe it's a B roll reel skill to pull from your Google Drive and automatically create that video, and then from there can automatically push it back into Ads Manager. So that whole feedback loop from data to creative to actually implementing or implementation and back into your Ads Manager is completely automated with AI and technology.
It's
So
insane.
all of this is what's in the community, and we're able to help you save time, and you don't have to do a lot of thinking and learning if you don't want to. You need context, but Claude will do a lot of it for you. The same thing holds true for SEO and our website. There are hundreds of different SEO tools because if we're going to write copy and create new pages, well, how do I rank higher, right? How do I get shown in search results, whether that's in chat or AI tools or Google, is we have to have the right keywords, right? So if people are searching pediatric chiropractor near me and those phrases, those words are not on your website anywhere, but they're on your competitors, guess who's going to show up, right? So there's hundreds of SEO tools that do a lot of research and link with Google and understand the keyword volume, how many people are likely to search for this. A good example of a common pitfall is people have maybe family chiropractor versus prenatal and pediatric chiropractor, Orange County. Family chiropractor is not searched nearly as much as those other phrases.
Right.
So we're kind of doing ourselves a disservice. So what we teach is how to one, not pay $100 to $200 a month for these SEO tools, things like SEMrush, to get that data. There's actually a really cheap, it's called data for SEO, and it's what those tools where they get their data and then charge you a markup. So we're able to go to the source. It connects with Claude, and I literally have been doing this for the last few days. I think I've spent $5. Like it's super super cheap, and you're able to get real time data of a competitor analysis, where your content lacks, keywords you need to include, where your current rankings are. And then that's the SEO research skill. And then we have the SEO website copy skill that then takes all of that and drafts SEO optimized copy for you to then pass off to your web designer or copy and paste into your website. Like it's so simple. And then we have Claude to automate and create our Google business posts, and we're off to the races. Like,
I really do think that this was our superpower early on because, like I said a few minutes ago, we got to 70K before we ever launched an ad, right? And
yeah,
that wasn't just networking, that wasn't just referrals. Like we were showing up online and ranking for the keywords. And you joke about not knowing Google Ads. The reason that we don't know Google Ads is because we have ranked number one in all of the keywords and things that we want to rank for. Like we're already at the top of the search and in the map pack.
yeah, that's true.
So
I don't need.
we've never had to run Google
Why would I
Ads.
run ads when I already ranked number one?
Right. And so that's why this is such a like a keystone part of this ecosystem is because you do it once well when you're building, right? And then you just add and layer on top of it over time. But like this will work for you in the background and will save you from having to run ads on Google because you're going to organically rank at the top of the search for the keywords that you want to rank for. In fact, we have one of our clients who's been working with us since I think November or December of last year, who's been, I mean, talk about an action taker. You know, you mentioned this a few minutes ago. It's like the ability to move fast and pivot are the people that we see who achieve success, right? And she's done literally everything as soon as you do a training on it, you tell her, she's like, "Cool, I'm going and doing it." You know, and she and her husband have this practice that they've again, like they're amazing at what they do, but they just haven't been growing at the rate that they want to. Well, she did the scary thing and she took a week away, went on vacation and came back and she's like, "Yeah, wouldn't you know it? Like Monday I had 4 patients from Google just, like, ready to go in the office.
Yeah,
She didn't have to do any marketing on her vacation, she didn't have to show up and do any Yap videos on her vacation because her ecosystem is working for her even when she's not there taking action, and I think
right.
that is such a cool thing about SEO, is it's literally working for you in the background the whole time.
Everything is. When
That's
you
true.
optimize these 3 funnels, then we have a true ecosystem. Then you do the networking with other providers. That's another funnel,
Mhm.
right? How are we staying in touch with them? And that's probably a episode for another day. Then you have patient referrals. All of a sudden, you have a minimum of 5 different lead generation sources. That's not including the different avatars that you can target with ads. I mean, we run an adult, a prenatal, and a pediatric campaign. So there's 3 campaigns running for ads. I mean, the list just continues to grow. So when one
Yeah.
is up, one is down, and we're able to really automate and streamline a lot of processes for the first time that used to take a lot of time to manage. And that's why people hired agencies. It was technical, it was tough, it took time. I had to get an editor, I had to do a designer. All of that goes away now. And so, if you're feeling lost, like you don't know where to start, I hope this episode was able to provide a little bit of clarity. Think about your strengths of where you're at. Maybe use a perfect patience or a managed service for your website. And so SEO, okay, we're going to put that on the back burner for right now. I'm really going to go hard on Instagram, both with paid and organic. So think about where you're at, where you need help. If you need the ongoing support, if you want the custom pre-trained skills and AI, click the link below to join our new community. There is a 7-day free trial. You'll be able to, and plans start at just $297 a month. If we are able to get you just one new patient a month,
You
that is a
5x your ROI.
5x ROI on this. I mean, we are really opening up the floodgates to be able to help as many clinics as possible. So let us know if you have any questions in the DMs, and we'll see you inside the community.
Bye.